Hello, everybody, and welcome to Faithful Friday. I hope everybody's doing well. It is hot here in Connecticut, but the topic that I want to talk about today was inspired by a comment that was left on yesterday's video. So, we're going to dive right into this topic, and the topic is, does love have to be complicated? Now, I'm going to give my opinion on this whole situation now. Is love complicated? Yes, of course it's complicated because you come with your own experiences, you come with your own way of thinking. We're human beings and we're flawed as human beings. None of us is perfect, so of course it's complicated because of all this stuff that we bring into the subject or we bring into our experience of love. Does it have to be complicated? Now, this is where it's tricky. Does it have to be complicated? I'm going to say yes and no, depending on what the circumstance is. Now, the reason why I am going to say yes in some circumstances is because we grow up with our experiences of what love looks like and how we have grown up with our experiences, because everybody has their own vision of what love is and what love looks like for them as being an individual. So, yes, because you have set your standards, you have your way of thinking, you know what you want in a relationship, in a friendship, in your family, in relationships with your family members, in relationships with your co-workers, as far as, when you're at that level of love, when you love a person. So, yes, it's going to be complicated because that person that you're sharing your experience with has their own experiences, and everything in their experience is not going to match everything in your experience. And sometimes our feelings get a little bit complicated because we don't see their way of thinking and they don't see our way of thinking as far as love. Now, continuing on with this subject of love and experiences, sometimes it gets even more complicated because, now say if you have a group of friends and then one friend is pissed off at another friend in the group, but you're best friends with that person who's pissed off with that person. So sometimes your friend wants you to share their same experience about that other person. Now, that's where it can get complicated. And I'm going to say, be fair. If you don't have that bad experience with that other person, then you do not have to buy into your friend's experience just because they have a bad experience with that person. And this comes up a lot. Or when you have two friends that are in a relationship, and then both of them are coming to you with their experience of the other, but then one is mad at you because you spoke to that person or you spoke to that person, but you are allowed to have your experience and they are allowed to have their experience. So it is not fair to put you in this tug of war because they had a bad experience. Now, that's where love can be complicated. Now, where we can start uncomplicating things is when we set our standards of love. Now, if we have our standards and they're set, okay then. So when you allow someone in, now this is as far as a relationship. Now, when you allow someone in and you have already set your standard of what love looks like to you or what type of relationship you want to be in, keep to your standards. No, I'm not going to say keep to your standards. I'm going to say if you're a person who wants to keep to your standards, but the other person has a different set of standards, but you are determined to keep to your standards, then do not have an experience with that person as far as getting intimate and, starting to live together and just starting to make things complicated. Because if this person says to you, look, this is what I'm looking for in a relationship. I want to hit it or quit it. That's it. I don't want to live with you. I don't want to be with you. I'm not going to call you my girl, such and such. And then, but your experience or what you want is, I want to be married. I want to live here. I want to make this type of money. I want to have 2 kids, such and such. And your experiences do not match. Now, that's complication right there. Okay, so your experiences don't match. Don't get together and think that you're going to change the other person. Do not get together with that agenda in your mind. Have your experience and know that if you're setting this as your experience or what you want, then look for that. Look for what you're looking for and don't settle for something different than what you're looking for. Now, if you're the type of person that has your experience but says, okay, I can talk to someone about this, we can talk about these things, I'm willing to change on this, I'm willing to bend on that, okay, then you're starting to uncomplicate things, because no matter what type of person you put into your atmosphere, there's always going to be something a little bit different. They grew up in a different household, they grew up in a different neighborhood, they grew up with a different set of values in their household, they grew up with different parents, different cousins, they went to different schools, possibly. They watch different programs. They have their experience. Okay? So, their idea of love is different from yours, and you're okay with that? Okay, then be okay with that. It is all right to be in love, but just realize that there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes with that, because you two are coming together and you two are from totally different worlds. You're not necessarily exactly from the same world. You have your ways of thinking, because like I said, as human beings, we are flawed. And it's good to be able to have a different, to me, in my experience, it's good to be able to have different experiences with other people, because if you're just with somebody and your thinking is totally the same and you're having conversations and everything is the same, that's kind of boring. At least to me, that's kind of boring. That's my experience. But when you can, have a conversation with somebody and you can open up and just see, what they're talking about, and then you're going to learn something. You're going to open yourself up to having a new experience. That's what love is about, having a new kind of experience, because every love isn't the same. And some people have been with their high school sweethearts and such, so they're set in their ways. But when you're with different people, because some people will have 1, 2, 3 relationships before they get it right, and this even goes with friendships. You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different friendships. You're going to have different experiences of what love is. You got that? And that's okay, because we as human beings, we need to learn. We need to learn until we get it right. But don't damage anyone else in the process, but be specific on what you want, and then know if you're adjustable to that situation. Today, I want to say this video is sponsored by Pink Lemonade Colada. I got it because it is cold. It's hot outside. It is good. Thank you, Dunkin' Donuts, for this. But be open to other people's experience, and just know that you don't have to buy into their experience if you don't want to. So, can it be complicated? Yes. Does it have to be complicated? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I hope this video finds you well. Everybody, I hope you are living your life, enjoying your life, and finding love out there. I love you all. Like I said, I hope you are doing well. And leave me some comments below, because I love hearing from all of you, regardless of what your experience of me is or not. Okay? And as always, let's do this.